Future Legend's going to sponsor us.
Yeah.
Hey, so you want to give us a quick update on all this BS you've been going through?
You know what? I feel like I'm talking about it 500 times a day.
That's why I said quick. I said quick update.
I want to get a quick update.
It's almost impossible.
The update is, I don't know, it changes every day with these guys with how they want to portray it and the way they want to sell this fight, I guess. But the recent update, as everybody knows, was some footage came out. I still am skeptical of how they're going to release the full 12 rounds, if they're going to release it. Now that they have 3-4 cameras, I think you can change camera angles the way you want to. I mean, that quote unquote knockdown sequence, I mean, in live real time when it happened, it was such a nothing moment. I mean, nobody in the gym reacted. I mean, watch everybody's face in the gym. Nobody reacts, nobody does anything. I mean, it was such a nothing moment. The referee casually called it no knockdown. I mean, if you can make that look like something, I mean, I can't imagine the way you can edit, even the 12 rounds, because you have so many different camera angles, you can keep switching. So that's why I tweeted this morning. I said, all right, you know what? When you have the footage that you're ready to release it, show one camera angle all 12 rounds, like a regular home video. Yeah, right? You have a one camera angle all 12 rounds, untouched, 36 minutes. Don't start switching angles, making it into a TV show, like they did the first time,
Right.
And again, as I keep saying, I mean, one thing I've come to realize, and I knew this in life already, but it just hits home for this particular situation, is people are going to believe what they want to believe.
Sure.
But even if you spit them in the face with facts, with very obvious facts, they're going to believe what they want to believe. Like I got people tweeting me that, Joshua pushed down Klitschko's head, so a knockdown, all that stuff. If you hit in with a push down somebody's head, it still counts as a knockdown. You can get away with it. I mean, but a punch still has to land. Number one, I mean, in that particular situation, the punch didn't land. I think when I'm in Vegas, I'll probably talk to the media, and because they're gonna ask me. Obviously, they're not gonna stop leaving me alone. But I'll probably talk to the media more so in a video interview where people can actually see it, and I'll walk through the knockdown and make people explain why. Number one, nothing landed in the sequence. And number two, even if it had landed, especially that last right hook, there's nothing on it anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you watch McGregor's left leg, which is the back leg in a southpaw stance, as he's throwing that little short right hook inside, I mean, some people think it's an uppercut. It's actually a hook. An uppercut goes up, down to up. It doesn't go side to side. But, that's another. When you're explaining the difference with hooks and uppercuts to people, it's hopeless already. But you're already wasting your time trying to get the more complicated stuff out of the way. But he throws that little short right hook as he's pushing down my head, and he's letting me go. His left foot, which is out of a southpaw stance, is in the back, is traveling off the ground. You know what I mean? So he's only planted on one foot. So, I mean, I already said Conor's not a naturally good puncher, even with both feet planted. With one foot planted, nobody's a naturally good puncher. I'm sorry. Nobody is. Especially if you're pivoting your front foot and your back foot is off the ground. I mean, there's nothing on it. It's literally like a smack, even if it was to land. Then you add 16-ounce gloves, you add headgear. I know, guys, he doesn't hit that hard to begin with, so that would have nothing on it. But then again, you get to the bottom line where he didn't land at all even in that particular sequence. You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. I think people just want this to be true so badly. They want this to happen so badly, and they want this to. I guess, I mean, it's almost like when you were watching the election and CNN kept telling you that Hillary was comfortably ahead, right, and everybody watched it because that's what they wanted to hear. But and then she lost by a mile. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, just because it's what you want to hear doesn't mean it's true. Just because it looks like something that you wish to be true doesn't mean that's how it happened. I mean,
just because you pour syrup on shit doesn't make them pancakes.
And you're not 7 years old. Like, you're an adult enough to understand this. So, like, when it's not true, even if you want it to be true, adults learn to understand, okay, this isn't the way it was. You know what I'm saying? But instead they try to spin around on you.
Well, they still want to believe that he has a chance to win the fight too.
You can still believe
anybody has a chance.
Right.
You can still believe he has a chance to win the fight without lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can still believe he has a chance to win the fight. I think the bottom line is that if you're editing, just the fact that you're editing anything of a 12-round ass beating according to Dana White, the fact that you have to edit anything of a 12-round ass beating. I mean, if it was a 12-round ass beating, just show something concurrent running for 30 seconds from one camera. The fact that you have to edit anything out of that supposed 12-round ass whooping that both Dana and Conor said it was 12 rounds to 0 and I was stumbling out and all that stuff. The fact that you have to edit anything, again, I will say it, I'll keep saying it. Wouldn't that common sense tell you more so that there was probably a problem with this whole supposed ass whooping? I mean, you have to edit. You can't even give me 30 seconds running concurrently. That's kind of pitiful.
Yeah,
that actually shows you where you really stand for the whole sparring. as a whole. That's pitiful.
But why do you have to call him a bald? Why do you have to make fun of his baldness, though? That was a little upsetting to me.
No, you know what it is?
You took offense?
Nah, you know what it is?
I tweeted it. It's like you went too far.
He's cocky now because he has hair now.
No, you know what it is with the
I can't afford hair.
You know what it is though? You know what it is with Dana? It's more like it's not just baldness. He's so pasty. Like
I'm just kidding, man.
He's so pasty. Like the only guy in Vegas that doesn't catch any sun. You know what I mean? Like you ever see him? He's like the Pillsbury Doughboy without the hat. Like if you put the Pillsbury Doughboy hat on him and you dress him all in white, he's not gonna be a spitting image. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
that guy is like the epitome of a guy who gets laid because of his money. There's no way anybody would touch him
kidding me?
without the money he has. Like anybody fucking Dana White, you know you're fucking him for the money. You know what I mean? Like you're not doing anything. Nobody wants to go near that guy. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to touch. No chick wants to touch that guy. Are you kidding me? Man, if I look like him, I hang myself. You know what I mean?
Or become really rich.
There you go.
He didn't get rich off his looks, cuz. So it's not.
I said hang yourself or become really rich.
Yeah. So
you don't think he's a handsome man? That's what you're trying to say.
No, I mean
he's like a fucking cue ball.
Hey, will you stop with the cue ball?
He is.
Right.
You know what it is? He's not like neck fat, head fat. You know, it's like
you got a hot dog back there.
Yeah, you can't afford a trainer. I mean, you can afford a trainer, right?
It's more so that. Then I love how he. You know what? Another thing. I love how how he comes up with. Don't look at me. I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me. It actually does make a difference to you, because you need to promote Conor.
Right.
So it actually does make a difference to you. The fuck
It
you
makes
even
a
saying?
whole
Like he's not involved in the fight.
I'm not involved in the fight. It doesn't make a difference to me. All right. What do you think? Everybody's stupid? I mean, I know the people that listen to you are stupid. How much we figured it out already. But like, you think everybody's stupid? Really? Like,
His little
I don't have
cult.
anything. You know, like he's like, I don't need to say anything. Obviously you do, bro. You need to hype Conor as much as you can, because.
Hence why you put out the edited video.
Yeah.
Who told you to post it if you got nothing to do with anything?
Then Steven Espinoza came out with a statement today that said, Dana actually had nothing to do with any videos. He got them from because they sent. You know how everybody's been saying that supposedly Dana gave them all 36 minutes, no less. A lot of people on Twitter telling me they have all 36 minutes, and Showtime didn't want to show it. So that's what Dana was putting out. So Steven came out.
Dana said that?
Steven came out and cleared that up today. He said, no, it wasn't anything like that. It was actually about 45 seconds, and a lot of it was repetitive footage. And they wanted us to play it on All Access, and we wanted to chop it down a little bit. We wanted to play it. And it's funny because Steven actually mentioned this to me before any of the videos came out. Steven called me and said, we want to play it, but we need them to chop it down because it's just repetitive stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of footage. In my mind, I was trying to revisualize the sparring. I'm like, they don't have a lot of footage. So, he's going to probably try to play the knockdown as a knockdown as opposed to a slip. He's going to try to play certain shots from
the one shot he landed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in round 12. No, literally, round 12 was a good shot that he landed. And, he landed a couple of shots here and there the rest of the sparring. One thing about me, though, is I don't get hit very clean. You know what I mean? Even when I get hit, I don't get hit very clean. And he's going to find that to be a problem with Floyd Mayweather as well. He's going to have an even bigger problem with Floyd Mayweather. So a lot of the shots that landed clean, or you can probably, you're not going to have very many of them. You know what I mean? And that's boxing in general, because you can only use your hands. You're down to one art, so you can only use your hands and fists to strike. And so to land cleanly, and the fighter has to defend just from the hands, to land cleanly against a very good professional becomes very difficult. So, for Conor to have landed very cleanly, I think round 12 was more so from fatigue. He landed that shot. As you can see, I look how much I moved him that shot. For this puncher that he is, I'm exhausted in that. And look how much he moved me with that shot. but I was exhausted. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. 12 rounds.
How wouldn't you be?
But not only that, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I was the shape I was in. I had tried to get in better shape. Like I said, I had ran all the whole week before, but just running and doing one sparring session the week before, that's not training camp type of training. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bare minimum. I'll be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have went 12 rounds with like a Heather Hardy or like a Anna Houlihan or like a Katie Taylor. You know what I mean? I don't think I would have been able to go 12 rounds with like even a girl that could box really well, But like somehow I went 12 rounds with him, you know what I mean? And got the better of most of it, you know what I'm saying? So they can edit it all they want, that the cute and adorable, that's why I keep calling them cute and adorable, because you still got to fight them at 26. You got to stop trying to convince everybody that you did so good. Like, I give this example the other day to somebody, and Pete, remember this. My second world title fight, my second world title win, I fought Vyacheslav Sinchenko, and I fought him in Ukraine. I was a 3.5 to 1 underdog going into the fight. I had to go to Ukraine. And I remember when I got the fight and I started training for it, nobody thought I was going to win the fight. You know, looking back, everybody makes like, you know, it was a nothing moment because that's how everybody's always a Monday morning quarterback. But going into the fight, nobody thought I was going to win the fight. There was absolutely, you couldn't find somebody that thought I was going to win that fight. You know, and the odds makers made me 3.5 to 1 underdog. And Pete remembers it. Pete was in camp with me and whatnot.
Fact.
And I didn't spend the whole training camp trying to convince anybody. Like, I didn't social media it up. I didn't give a bunch of interviews talking about like that I'm going to dismantle this guy. I'm going to beat him. I just quiet, because I knew nobody would believe in me anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, Conor's like so scared to be laughed at. Like boxing, right. If Conor was so scared to be laughed at, he should have probably not had the media workout the other day. You know what I mean? Because they saw him shadow box, and now boxing is laughing at him. You know what I mean? Like don't hit the bag or do anything, or even hitting the bag or whatnot. I mean, just don't work out in front of anybody if you don't want to be laughed at, because boxing laughs at you. You know what I mean? So what I remember was for the Sinchenko fight, I didn't try to convince everybody through videos and all this other stuff that, you know, I'm gonna beat this guy or whatnot. I just went to camp. I trained hard. I believed in myself. And going into the fight, I remember thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna win this fight, but I'm definitely gonna be able to be honest with myself and say I gave it my best effort and prepared in the best possible way, and I showed up as the best possible Paulie Malignaggi on fight night. You know, that's what I wanted to. I didn't want to do myself a disservice, you know. And obviously on fight night we know the whole story. You know, I ended up with a 9th round stoppage in the Ukraine, and I won my 2nd world title. But I look at it like I look at the parallels here with Conor. He's in a fight where really anybody with any kind of logical brain doesn't really give him a chance. You know, and he's in this situation. He's in this situation now where, you know, he's training hard. He's in camp. He's bike riding. He's Lance Armstrong. He's he's working out. And doing whatever he's doing. I mean, a lot of it I don't know what he's doing, but you know, he's working hard. I mean, you can tell. You can clearly see he's in shape. Just the fact that he can even spar 12 rounds. But why are you trying so hard to convince everybody? You know what I mean? Like, one thing about the boxing ring that everybody always told me since I started boxing, the truth always comes out inside the ring.
Yep.
So if you're so prepared or whatnot, we'll find out on the 26th. You know what I'm saying? The truth always comes out in the ring. That's the truth speaker. You can't play yourself in the ring. There's
no lying and tricking.
You can't. Yeah. There's no editing. There's no kind of camera tricks. There's no illusions. On fight night, it's you and the other guy, and you have a job to do, you know? And so if you've prepared badly, or if you're underprepared, or if you're even not good enough, on fight night, it shows up, you know? Now, based on all these pictures he's put up, granted, we know he's preparing very good. You know what I mean? He's preparing very hard. I mean, he's Instagram modeling the shit out of this camp. You know, he's bike riding, he's all over the place.
Got rompers.
So you've now eliminated the excuse that you didn't train hard enough. So now, if you show up and you get embarrassed on the 26th, everybody's going to know you weren't good enough. You know what I mean? And now you're going to get laughed at because you trained so hard and then you got run out of the ring. So now you need to perform because you put this whole thing out where you're beating up sparring partners, you're concussing people.
That's right.
That's cute. That's cute. That was cute.
Are you feeling better from that? Are you okay?
That was cute.
How many fingers, Paulie?
Because here's the problem. You can never believe your own hype. You know, one thing about boxing, and one thing I learned also very early in boxing, you have to know who you are. You have to know your identity inside the ring. But more importantly than knowing who you are, you have to know who you are not. Mm-hmm. So if you think you're a puncher, and let's face it, every single man in this world that's never gotten to a fight in their life, or maybe got into a couple of street fights, thinks they hit hard. And every single one of those men also thinks that nobody could